Hello and welcome back to Queensville, and this is now the reshoot of the 2014 videos for this year, and I'm happy to say that this is going to be really interesting for the Queen guys and for you guys on Queen as well. Originally did this video in 2009, but now it's time to give you a brand new look at the Queen CDs from 1994 and 1993. Yeah, and as a treat for you guys, we have got a new camera. A brand new camera has been installed in this thing, and we are giving you now picture-in-picture of the shoots as well for the cover art as well, which is cool. So, why don't I get talk on with the first CD of the lot? Yeah, the first part we're going to do is 1993, 1994 CD issues of the Queen albums which came out. You'll have my own opinion about it and general consensus about why and what the hell he did in this lifetime of Queen CDs. Yeah, some shocking jobs we've got with it as well. Right, so the first one we're going to look at is Queen, the first Queen album. Yeah, this is the 1992 print of the Queen album. It is similar to the reissue of 1994 album, which is one I will show you later on the show. But first of all, this is the awful 1992 print with the EMI logo, which you can tell there. Yeah, from their side. And it's my point of view, the shocking job of the lot. This is the rubbish, terrible version of it. Obviously, this is the back sleeve of it, which is the original back sleeve with the creds on the back, which is cool. Interesting how they put the original EMI logo on there as well, which is a kind of a resemblance to it. 1973 Queen Productions on there. So it's kind of a bit joke. This is the 92 print of the CD that came out with all this bloody awful text in it, which is just not needed at all, which is terrible book standards of it. When EMI was issuing these CDs at the time, you have to consider that obviously these were just not the right prints that came out at the time it was done. And I mean, from our point of view, it's a shocking job what they've done this one. So as you say, you got the original credits as well on that one, which is really awful, including an asterisk there, which is an interesting thing. Doing all right. Obviously, this bit here was cut and pasted out of the original sleeve of the thing, so it's very clever how they got rid of the text and put the text on there, which is a shocking job. And yeah, and obviously with it being trading as B. Feldman and Company, trading as Trident Music, which is the one for Doing All Right. But later on, they reprinted this one as Dick James Music, but that was taken out. But then, obviously, at the time that this was printed, Queen Productions is not involved with any of the Stanley music on this one. So you have to realise this was a very early print when it came out. This one, which is a bloody terrible job of it. This is the horrible booklet inside. You can tell it's obviously taken from scanned artwork from the album, which you can tell, and it's just that's it. That's all you get. No lyrics, nothing else in it, just a box standard issue of it, which is just terrible. Then we've got the disc itself. This is the 1992 print, as this is clearly stated on the disc. I don't understand why it's got a date like 1992 and it's got Queen Productions 1974. Mismatched thing on there for some reason, which I don't understand. Then it's got this digital mastering AAD format, which is not even digital mastered. It's actually sounds like it's just a terrible tape that's been in the cassette, which is terrible, isn't it? And that's it really. Now this is printed at EMI Swindon, if you can tell from the actual thing of it. This is the CDP issue of it. I mean, if I can get it to the light a little bit, you can see there. But yeah, this is the CD issue of the CD. EMI Swindon, you see that? EMI Swindon. So tells you exactly that this is just being based in the UK, but not as it is. Then to the back sleeve of it, then you've got this CD FA 3040 AAD format, which obviously that is fame, but at the time that this was printed, this was removed obviously for the reissue when it came out. As you can tell, obviously they were trying to reissue these in the EMI format in 1986 format, but this is obviously 1992 print of it. Now, sound quality on this is absolutely dreadful indeed. It is dreadful. The tape hisses everywhere on the CD. this print, I do have to say, avoid this at all costs because this basically is so horrible. It's the worst. It's the worst of the worst. But for credibility issues, it's all right. But it's good how EMI's job of printing this was just embarrassing, really, for it, and it was just terrible. But to have that is just really unusual. But the 992 issue, there's no way that digital mastering was done in 1992, right, for a start. That was never ever on the CD. That was probably from my point of view. Yeah, it was still going around at the time, but digital mastering, no, I don't think they did this. But they basically slapped on the cassette version of it and then just ripped it onto the CD, which is a print. So that is a shocking job for a start anyway. Terrible CD. Worst sound quality in the world. So do avoid this at all costs. So that's the 1982 print of a Queen album. Right, on to the next CD. This is Queen, the original 1994 print of the Queen CD. You can tell straight away, this is altered this print. EMI logo is missing off this, which you can tell has been very kindly been scribbled out of here, which you can probably exactly tell. Yeah, can you see it? Yeah, it's been very well paint box job on that one, which is really neat. And this is the start of the shocking jobs of the CDs when they came out in this year of 1992. Now compared to this one, this is the same cover they used on it as well, which is just which is kind of cheesy in a way. As you make wonder, yeah, there's two different versions. It's the same exact copy of it, but they just decided that they got rid of that one and then decided to reshoot again this 1994 issue of it. Now, obviously, this is when those dreadful CDs came out at the time. It was done by EMI's issues, and these were all done at Abbey Road. And from my point of view, these are the worst of the worst CDs that ever came out. These are dreadful. The sound quality in this are absolutely shocking, to say the least. The 2011 versions, I'd say stick with them ones because they're more better to really get on these ones anyway. But these are, but for its time, obviously, you got to realise that this was when this is when things got really bad for EMI. Obviously now the asterisk on this is off. This one, as you can tell, I'm doing all right. And then you've got the copyright information here. B. Feldman and Trident Studios. Trident Studios is not actually on this, as you can tell, compared to the first issue that you saw before on that one. The lyrics were printed inside this one, which is a very interesting thing. This is when I got permission for Queen Productions to get the lyrics rights issues for this. But all the lyrics are, from my point of view, the lyrics in this are all wrong. Because some of these don't even, some of it is right, some of it's all absolutely dreadful. It's bitly, someone typed this out on a computer and nobody just said, right, we'll just paste all the lyrics in. But what they didn't do, all the lyrics in this are absolutely all wrong. It just doesn't work out right. I mean, look at them. I mean, this is just a bad example of reissuing CDs in a bad way. I mean, this is just like one of the worst jobs that EMI did. And my point of view, right, that is it, lyrics reprinted by kind permission. Well, yeah, but it doesn't. But who off though? Who off? By kind permission of who? It doesn't say Queen. So that's a misleading thing. Re-permission by kind permission. But then we come to these dread awful CDs that came out. I mean, these are shocking. These are shocking indeed. The worst one is probably Sheer Heart Attack, which we'll get to later, which you've probably seen before. But this is the collectible 12 albums on CD, Digit Remaster Abbey Road. Yeah, Peter Mew was basically in charge of all these CDs, by the way. And I have to tell you that he did a terrible job of these CDs. They were awful. I think the first 4-5 CDs that came out were awful CDs, like terrible copies. The best one probably is The Game, which I don't have anymore, because someone won that in a competition. And also, I don't have the Works on album either because that CD was very badly copied, and it was an original CD but got really damaged. But worst sound quality is this one and this one. Is they definitely stay away from all these CDs. They're absolutely terrible when they came out. So about this one anyway, and obviously you can tell that they've reprinted this because what they've done is they've took off the original sleeve from the book from this colour to this colour. Right, so that's one thing they've done. Make it more darker as well, which is a kind of a thing. Also pasted over-pasted the thing on that one, which is interesting. And yeah, digital remasters, 1994. Yeah, that's a kind of thing. But for some reason, if you go back to this one, it says 1973 owned by Queen Productions. This one says 1994 is owned by Queen Productions. Is made by Queen Productions, owned by Queen Productions. So I'm thinking at the time that 1984 came through, I'm finding a funny feeling that probably that EMI and Queen had a deal going on with that at the time it was reissued. So that sort of really gives you an idea that at the time that they were doing these CDs, yeah, they were doing them as a basic bog standard shit, and they knew standard things. And then they're going to the disc now. Now this disc is reprinted. This is not an original CD because this is a reprinted CD from Holland. The first issues that came out in the UK had the gold stickers on, the DMS stickers, which were the rare ones. And these are what I would say are the worst CDs that have ever come out. This was reprinted in 2003. And you can tell because on the way that they've done it on here is EMI Uden on here, which you can tell on the scan. And you can tell it's by the light, it's very, very light as well when you see it on there. So this is a reprint from Holland. I have to say that this is probably not one of the best CD qualities that I've ever heard. It's absolutely shockingly dreadful. It just sounds like tape hiss all over the CD. It's not the best song that I've ever had in my life. And it is really horrible. It's terrible, it really is. So that's a reissue 1994 CD as well. My overview of this one, I definitely would stay away from this one badly. This is just the worst CD that I've ever heard. I mean, seriously. If you've got the CD, chuck it in the bin. Get the new 2011 remasters because they are seriously much better than this. People who want to buy these ones, they're right for collectability, but from my point of view, shocking job. Really shocking job indeed. So that's Queen 1. Now on to the next one, Queen 2. Yeah. And this is the one I really think is just the shockingly worst cover art printed on this disc is just dreadful. And I mean, by dreadful, I mean, this is absolutely terrible, this print. It is terrible. This is a 1984 issue of it. And why I mean terrible, I'll explain why. Because this is just shockingly, really, really embarrassing. First of all, you may wonder that this image has been very cleverly scanned in. As you can tell by the camera, this has been scanned in from an original source of the album. But you may wonder that if you look very carefully on this image, the image has been taken off the album, but they've took the background off. They reprinted the background on this, and this is very, very clever. So we were ripped off by this CD as well. We were. One thing I will say is this sound quality is fucking horrible, and this is just one of the worst jobs that I've ever done in my life. I mean, I've never ever seen a CD like this ever printed. This is just the worst. Obviously, this is the 94 issue, obviously, and I have to say this is a no-no indeed. Definitely not the best CD I've ever heard. The first thing I'll say is that the shot and job of this artwork is dreadful. Being a paintbox job again, this one is just terrible. Obviously, the credits inside it as well, which looks original. Well, does it original? For some reason, Roger Taylor's name there in that, which is interesting. But obviously, yes, the bog standard copy of the album, which is again shockingly job as well. But again, more lyrics inside, but I do have to say that all lyrics are wrong. And a terrible bloody black and white version of the bloody Inside album, which God knows why the hell I did that for. That was just shocking. You should have done that in colour really for some reason. It looks like it's been off the paintbox shop again for that, which is interesting. And then you've got lyrics inside again. And again it says lyrics reproduced by kind permission. Well, who the hell reproduced them? We don't know. And then a horrible bloody big sort of paint job box job of Queen 2's logo as well, which is dreadful. I'll have to say this from my point of view, right? When I heard this CD, I turned it off because the sound is awful. When you get the 70s right, at the very end of the CD, you can hear the tape hiss when you hear the tapes being switched off. Someone pressed stop on the CD, someone pressed stop on the tape, and it's absolutely dreadful. But I have to say that this one is probably the terrible mix I've ever heard in this. When you get the Martin Blackburn, this is just awful indeed. The sound quality is dreadful on it. The CD is another reprint from Holland, and this is this to me looks like it's genuine. But from what I heard, the sound quality on this is not a genuine print of it, which is just one thing. But I have to say that obviously, when it's printed in Holland, it's 7892732 at thingy, and there's no indication NL. There should be there's an NL print. You can just probably see at the top there. But the NL print is there somewhere anyway. But that NL print means it's genuine CD. Well, the thing about this is the sound quality in this may sound genuine. It isn't genuine. It sounds absolutely dreadful. It sounds like the tape's been in a machine, and it's just like it's been slabbed all over the place. So this one, I'd say definitely no for this one, which is terrible. Now, back sleeve of it, yeah, the same again. Box standard rescan of it. This is terrible indeed. Which is obviously, you know, like 1984, Queen Productions owned the rights to Polyphone. You can tell that the sound quality in this was not in any way improved. I'd say that this is really a no-no for this one. So they are collectible now to collect, but some of these CDs are just not really the best in the world. But yeah, but it's just one of the worst CDs that ever come across in the world for that one. That probably is the worst one of the lot. So that's Queen 2. Now on to one of the most embarrassing CDs of the lot. My favourite one ever. Sheer Heart Attack. Now, I've got to say something first before I review the CD. If you are really wanting to get a CD that is really hilarious, to look at the artwork, please do get this CD, because this is dreadful. It's one of the worst of the worst. I mean, I'll make a disclaimer here. Whoever did this CD wants to go away and just basically student artwork, which it feels like when you've gone to a college, a student artwork could have done this in 2 minutes. Because the embarrassing job of this CD is just shocking. It is shocking indeed. And how I mean shocking, I'll explain later when you get to see the artwork inside. Because this artwork is dreadful. It is dreadful. So, I mean, first of all, if we go any further, let's just start off with the front cover first. Now, what amazes me about this CD is it's just probably the worst fact that he did a rubbish job of this CD, and it was horrendous. First of all, anyway, you can tell that this artwork has been brightened up a little bit on the old Adobe Flash Player or Adobe Paint Shop job. Yeah, the colour may be original. It's not original. It looks like it's just been lightly brightened up here for reasons that we do not know. So it kind of puts you in the position of going, right, that's the first bit. Yeah, it looks a bit alright. And then actually, I'll not do the inside, I'll do the back side first of it. Then you decide to put the same exact copy on the back of the CD. So it amazes you, what the hell, who designed this CD is a joke, right? It's a joke. So first, basically, you've got the first part of it, which is the first sleeve. Then you decide to put the replica of the back on the back sleeve, which is embarrassing, to say the least. Nice to put Roy Thomas Baker's name on there, which is a kind of a joke, right? And then Queen Productions and all this text on here, which is just not necessary at all to put on the back. Right, so moving on to the inside of the booklet, And you can see that they're putting here sheer heart attack, and they make it also big for the cover, isn't it? Taking it off the original album, this has been copied. This has been copied off the exact same copy outside the sleeve of the album, which you can tell. All this is copied off the same inside the sleeve. And I do have the album version of this one as well. So what they did was, as a cheapy way of producing the CD so well, they decided to copy all the text from the sleeve of the album onto here. Yeah. Yeah, this shows you how EMI was cheating in a way to bring you the new version of Sheer Heart Attack in its own format of student artwork, right? This is how it was made. So all these lyrics are all the same as the album sleeve. So they were just really making sure that we're going to put in like the greatest thing in the world. But then you get to stupid artwork like this, like exclamations the Queen logo on the bottom, which is just a joke anyway, at their expense. And yeah, that's the cheapest way. You can just basically copy and paste it, drag it from pressing Control and drag it across the screen and go, yeah, oh, let's put that in. Let's just put that in the embossing job of the CD. Let's make it so cool. Yeah, yeah. You can tell exactly why EMI was not making much money off this CD anyway. Then you've got this terrible work ever in the world to have Sheer Heart Attack and Queen and Sheer Heart Attack and Queen. That is just that. That to me feels like you're going back in time of a student artwork sort of basic bog standard shit. That's embarrassing. Who the hell would do this CD seriously is a joke. It is such a taking the piss. I mean, how the hell are you supposed to say, you know, this would drive you nuts. This would say, my God, who the hell did this is in student artwork mode is being a college. It feels like an art college sort of CD really. It is embarrassing. Then you get to other ones like 1, 2, 3, 4 Queen logos again. Yeah, we want to just brand out the Queen name. Let's brand it out so much on the CD. Let's give it a sort of its own integrity and all that business as well. Yeah, that is horrible. And then you get the last bit. No, we'll just put let's put more Queen logos on the bottom as well. Oh, seriously. You know what, right? I would say from my point of view, if you were a student and you were given a project to do this, right, would you do a CD like this? You would never ever do it. EMI would have just sacked somebody for this to say, let's create a CD cover art that's going to work out so well. And then you decide to say, bring out Sheer Heart Attack and bring it out as a format you want to create it in. So let's scan in the original artwork. Let's just replicate the artwork on the back sleeve of it and let's just do it that way. Yeah, that's our policy. Digital Master Series 1994. Right, it's time to bring out the Sheer Heart Attack album. But let's get someone who can do it for us. Let's go into college. Yeah, this looks like it was done by a college student. It's a student artwork, definitely. It looks like this has been a reprint and a redone thing, and it's taken the piss out of Queen. No one in their right mind would ever do this ever again. They never would. They never would. From my point of view, you get a CD like this, you would go bloody berserk. You would just really go pissed off with it. Right. So then they decided to put the track listing on the top, which is so ridiculous to put anyway, all squished together, which is awful. And then that's the number there. So it's embarrassing to say the least. This is the worst shocking job ever done of a Queen CD ever. We would never ever do this ever again. Then you go to the CD. Now this CD, right? Interesting. This CD is very interesting. This is the, from what I understand, this is, I don't know how to describe it. I would say this CD, this is the worst mix I've ever heard. The flanger is bloody awful on this. Brighton Rock is terrible mix of it. Killer Queen is more hissy on it. The whole tape just seems to be sound so rubbish on it. But when you get in the lap of the gods, though, it's a hilarious ending on that. The ending is not even. it sounds like the tape's actually running out, and it looks like it's squished together on the cassette. But that is horrible. So I'll put it from my perspective, guys, that if you want to listen to a Sheer Heart Attack, have a laugh with it because it's bloody hilarious. And then decide to put the same thing on the back of this one. So I'll put it just in perspective. All right, guys, if you want a good CD and get a good classic Queen CD, decide to buy the CD, but do check out the artwork because the artwork is the best. Hilarious artwork on it. So Sheer Heart Attack, good for the artwork, but rubbish for the CD. That is the worst of the worst. You would never ever get anybody doing that ever in the Queen's life. They would say, sack this guy, this CD, absolutely dreadful. It's the worst CD of the lot. Right, next CD, carrying on with the 1993-94 issues. This is now Night at the Opera. This is the UK print of the CD. I have to say that the artwork in this, I mean, this isn't bad for what it's for. I mean, I'd say that at the time that this was done, I mean, this is pretty good. But I suppose you have to say something about the artwork is an issue because obviously they decided to blow up the bloody big Night at the Opera, you know, so we couldn't see it in small text, obviously. Well, it wouldn't be better if it was in small text, obviously, if it was done that way. But, you know, then again, it's how EMI was doing it that way. The backside is not bad. Obviously, track listing's exactly the same. But the artwork is a detail issue we have. Now, this was at the time, the original CD printed John Reed's name in this, but they deleted John Reed's name out of this CD. Now, whether that's an issue with EMI and whether that's an issue with, at the time, these were reissued, his name is removed off this CD. Now you can tell it's actually been removed off this bit here, Management John Reed, and it's been removed off the CD. Now, whether this was an issue with at the time that EMI was doing this, maybe it was, but on the original CD that I saw in 1986, it's actually he is credited as being manager on this, so maybe the management weren't allowed to put it on for this release of it. Well, from my point of view, I mean, this CD is not one of the best. It's not one of the best, but the artwork is something of an issue. First of all, straight away, this is taken off the insert, the sleeve. As you can tell, scanned in, absolutely scanned in. It's not even the best print I've seen. It's all grainy. You can tell it's been printed off the sleeve because the fact that this black bit here, it looks like the sleeve's been taken out of EMI and they've basically scanned it in to this to make it an authentic, genuine print of it. It's terrible. Terrible. Then we've got the exact same lyrics off the album in the sleeve again. All of it's basically in blocks of this, so it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's like a double album, obviously, you can tell. All of it's completely thingied. Without a doubt, worst ever job ever done for the scan of this one. Dreadful. And even we get to most of this sound quality, by the way, I'll get to that in a minute, but the artwork is an issue that is terrible. Now, for some reason, this says that this is all reproduced by permission. Well, yeah, but what they've done is they don't say Queen on this either. They're all reproduced by permission of who? We don't know. Publishers B. Feldman Tribe Limited. So they were still at the time. It looks like that's been reprinted because apparently I think that is originally Queen. But they couldn't have been still under management from B. Feldman and Trident and Company because Trident Studios was still on the album. But they didn't have any involvement with Trident Studios when they were doing the album anyway. So whether that's an issue they have with it, I don't know. But it's interesting how they haven't had actually any involvement with this Queen business going on. So that's something of an issue that needs to be as well addressed. But all the lyrics in this is the intact lyrics, but I don't think this is complete. I think it's been cut. Then decided to put the same back on there with the same back on that one, which is a bloody shocking job anyway. But then you get to the CD, and I think this is again terrible. Seaside Rendezvous slows down for like 5 seconds and speeds up the tape for some reason. It's been taken off the original tape anyway, you can tell it has. Then Bohemian Rhapsody on this is awful on this CD. The sound quality is dreadful. The stereo is terrible on it. The tape machine is terrible on it. And we got ripped off by the CD because basically the CD was supposed to be genuine. It's not. It's fucking horrible. It's a terrible CD. Then it's the first, probably the last CD to have to say is the last CD that they should never have done this one. But I'll tell you from my point of view that if you listen to Bohemian Rhapsody on the CD, you will be embarrassed to hear it. It's terrible. This is a original EMI Swindon print, as you can see in the corner. This has been made in the UK. Now, I don't know if EMI Swindon was still doing this at the time, but this CD, horrible, horrendous CD, horrible sound quality, terrible indeed. And then bog standard back, which is made in the UK, which is just, which you can see there, made in the UK. The camera's not picking up very well, but yeah, this one again. This CD, I'd say, do not get this. This is seriously the worst CD ever done. Quality's bad, terrible CD, but when it came out, obviously, good job. But no, stay away from it. Night Opera, pants. Next CD is Day at the Races. Day at the Races. Now, I bought this one from a shop who I won't mention. We just come up with another video that we will discuss later. But this is Night at the Races album. Now, this is the exact same thing they did on Night at the Opera. Exactly the same job as the Night at the Opera. Exactly the same thing on Night at the Opera. Now, this one was printed in, if I have a look, Italy. Now, I've said all along that there's never been an EMI Italy, and there's never been a Parlophone Italy ever. There is an EMI Italia, but there's never been a Parlophone Italy at all. There's a fake name going around. Right. So, let's have a look at the second job of this one. They did this one. Well, actually, this isn't too bad, this one, but it would have been ideal if it was better, produced. And first of all, the artwork is blown up again, as you can tell. And then, what they've done on this CD is they've altered out this number. Now, on this CD, you can probably tell there is a faded out black bit here. Now, that goes with the fact that it actually is, this is the reproduction that was done from the UK. Now, the original CD version from '86 has the number on it, and you can check that on Discogs. But this has obviously been printed out. You can tell it has because the way they've covered it up. And it's very clever how they've done this one. Now, in the light, you can see that a lot of it's been copied and pasted all over there. Now, the EMI logo is down here as well, but that's obviously been taken out as well for EMI's issues. You can tell exactly this has been a reproduction, this one. And this has been pasted and copied from the original CD. Now, I have to say this is a genuine CD. This is not a copy. But I can tell you that if you put it to the light, you can tell there's a lot of issues with this that you can see. It's terrible. So we were ripped off by this CD, right? Now, it says it's printed in Italy. Well, I don't think it is, but it says it's been made in Italy, the album. But it can't be. There's no way this could have been done in Italy at the time. Again, the inner sleeve's interesting because this has got no information at all who the manager is. Now, you can tell there straight away that his name's been removed. You can tell exactly it's been removed, his name. John Reed's been removed his name off this one. So this has been another job they've done on this one as well. And you can probably tell by the light again, this has been another reproduction that they've done from their side. So this tells you exactly, yeah, it's a copy, it's a rip-off this is. This is an embarrassment. Why the hell have put the images like this? You should never have done it that way. Should have just kept it straight, as I should have done. Then we've got edited. Oh God, where to start with this? Seriously, I'll say from my point of view, if you have this CD in your collection, will you please check this out because this is embarrassing. Now I've got to tell you that this is, some of it is fabricated and hidden in this CD. It is. It's literally been fabricated in this CD. This is wrong. All these lyrics are wrong. This is probably the worst bit of the lot, where they've just cropped off the original album itself and put it in here, which is just on the bottom sleeve of it, which you can tell. Then you've got oh, Somebody Love is hilarious. It literally yeah, read this seriously. It's not even right. Somebody Love is wrong. Apparently he's put they've put "Can anybody find me somebody I love" at the very beginning of the album. Yeah, that was never on the album indeed. But this lyrics are totally wrong on it. So this is probably the worst CD of the lot. But the artwork's, as I said, the artwork is the worst thing to do. Now the other thing about this is, it doesn't mention anything about permission on this at all. Right. So let's go back to the front page again and see if there's anything. Where it says here, very cleverly edited out, which you can tell, Queen Music Limited, EMI Music Publishing. Now, I've got a funny feeling that this was reproduced at the time the CD was done, because I can tell this has been a reproduction, this one. That originally said Queen Music Limited, Try Audio Productions. Now, if you go to, now, what I'll show you later on is the original album sleeve, and I'll show you the comparison to this. But I do have to say, that is reprinted. Because it's not, because I don't think it was, I think it was at the time, the Sheffield brothers were probably in comparison with this thing. So this is probably why it explains this. And the back sleeve, obviously you've just shown, which is obviously that. And then you go to the disc of it, and yeah, we've got the white black disc this time. Now you can tell that this has been specially edged, this disc. It hasn't been finished off actually, this disc. Apparently it's been more smooth on this. Now, obviously it says made in Italy. Now, there is no Parlophone Italy in Italy. There's no way this CD could have been done in Italy. No way. I think this is a fake CD, this. Sound quality, this is bloody awful as well. But this is the most interesting thing. It says EMI Swindon. Now, that is really unusual. EMI Swindon, made in Italy. This disc is a fake. This disc is a reproduction. And I know this is a fake, this CD, because the fact is this is not genuine. Now, there's no way they could have done EMI Swindon made in Italy. Now, that is very, very weird. That is weird. So weird. So basically, if you think about it, EMI Swindon, and that doesn't match. So yeah, that's Day at the Races. Next CD is News of the World. Aha. Now this next CD, right, I will say something, right, because you saw the Sheer Heart Attack one, now we go even worse. We go worse on this one, which is just my point of view. EMI, you should have never touched the CD. You should have just kept it intact. No. It's that they redo it for their services and the purposes of this CD. Well, anyway, News of the World. From my point of view, right, good album, best album they ever did in the 70s, which is cool, right? But let's talk about the artwork on this. Let's talk about some of the copyright issues that we have with this. Let's talk about some of the issues that we do with this CD. I will say one thing though, it's hilarious this job they've done on the CD, it really is. Seriously. Right. Now, let's have a look at this backside. You can tell straight away. Look at that. Now that what they've done is they've airbrushed this out, obviously the original track listing. So it was to make sure that they were going to really rip us off so well again. Yeah, we got ripped off so bad this CD. You tell straight away that this has obviously been mismatched out of here. Or track listing on here, which is interesting. Then, right from EMI, they stripped this bit out. Now, under here was EMI Italy. Now, this has been taken off the Italy CD. It has. And if you wonder what that number is up there, yep, check it out on Discogs because it tells you the original number on the CD. Now, this backside has been taken off the Italy CD itself, and what they've done is they've just reprinted this for their purposes of the copyright issues which they've done. Right? Probably tell it was actually originally EMI copyright on it. So the artwork's a bit of an issue I have with it. Again, this is again taken out of the insert of the album sleeve. Again, all of this is absolutely copied out of the actual album. Tell. We Will Rock You is totally there, obviously. But from my point of view, right, from my point of view, the sheer heart attack includes the number 17 on this for some reason. I don't know if that was in the original album or anything, but it was. Then we've got All Dead, Pretty Wings, which is not even. Which the lyrics in this are supposed to be genuine. Best thing about the CD was this in the CD. That's the best thing about the CD. Good job, kept it intact on it. Cool. The new 2011 issue of it is even better. And then they decided to put this bit of the album in there. Yeah, off the sleeve. And not a bad one, this one, actually. I'd say the artwork on this is not bad. Then we come down to the copyright issue of this one. Now, I'm not sure what was made to be put here, but I think it was a picture supposed to be put here of Queen on it, but I think they removed it for EMI's purposes of this anyway. And then we've got down here Queen Music Limited, EMI Publishing Limited. Now, on the original album, it is different. Yeah, original copyright on it, but they've removed off the original publishing on it. So check out the original album for the original publishing credits on this one, which is even cool. No management on this. Queen were management themselves at the time. And from my point of view, it is one of the best albums ever come out. But the CD is an issue I have. And obviously, it's pre-printed the same thing on the back sleeve here, so you can tell. The exact same thing. I won't even go there. And then we come to the CD. Another one of these ones which is fucking terrible. This is a Holland print, genuine Holland print. You can tell by the back of it because it is a 7/4 thing. This is a Holland print. You can tell by the NL print of it as well, which is on the top, just there. And it is, from my point of view, sound quality is awful on this. So when you get My Melancholy Blues, never heard the worst version in the world of my life. So that is the News of the World CD. From my point of view, artwork is with this thing on it, but CD, it is all right. Right. So if you think that was, if you thought those CDs were good, now we're coming up to another embarrassing job. EMI is to blame for this next one, and obviously, yeah, there was things in this world that that you should never ever do, and EMI's to blame for this really because they did this wrong, and they did it all in their own format they created it in. It is the jazz album. Yeah, this bog standard dreadful CD of the world, and this one I'd say is a no-no. This should be banned, this one actually. This does not include the nudie pics in this because EMI refused to put it in at the time this was done. The front of it is good, but when we get to the back sleeve, this is taking the piss. This is taking the piss straight away. Right. You can tell straight away this is from the original album with EMI removed off this straight away. But what they did was they pasted this title screen over. Now what they did was they decided not to put on for their reasons. Right, for their reasons. Okay, you just tell straight away. This is actually reprinted. This is not necessary at all. They couldn't be bothered to put the full version of this on. So look, you've got the full jazz album there. And you've got, let's put this on. Yeah. Yeah. This is the Italy print. This is the Holland print. This is the worst sound quality in the world ever done. My point of view, it is awful. Compared to the vinyl version, it's better. There's a lot of faults on this CD. There was a fault on Fat Bottom Girls in the very beginning of the track. Then we got all these 3.1 things. Apparently, these times are all totally incorrect. All times are totally incorrect. When you get to more of that jazz, hilarious bit on that. All of it is awful. Sound quality, this is the worst sound quality in the world ever done. 1984. Mustafa is terrible. It is what I would say the shockingly worst version I've ever heard in my life. Don't even go there. Don't. Terrible. But anyway, this CD is definitely no for this one. Terrible. Right, now we go to the booklet now. Yeah, backside obviously the same as that. Not necessarily don't put that on. Terrible. Now obviously this is all intact, this one. This is all intact. At the time that this was done, the CD, they apparently put all this in correctly. They kept the Management by Queen in this one. And I think that's why, because Queen owned the album anyway, because I think that's why they were doing it this way. All this is intact. The thing about this is there's something missing off this album. The Mustafa is missing. Whether that's something that EMI didn't put in, I don't know, but they didn't decide to put it on the album for some reason. But it's embarrassing to say that this is yeah, this is just yeah, all not bad. Black and white photograph from the session of the jazz album as well. Then we've got the awful print of the Inside Studio, which has been on 2-3 pages. Blown up. Terrible. Terrible. Then we've got the other credits as well, Dreams Ball, all that business going on. And then we just come to Daft Things on the back album. And then we've got One Night Jazz. Again, lyrics produced by Kind Permission. Of who? We don't know. Which is unusual. Now, it's very unusual to say this, but they've got a different print of the Queen album, this one, with the EMI logo on it. Now, from my point of view, I think that print, I don't understand it, but why is it that print was included in this one and it wasn't included on the first one? And that's interesting, that. They included the EMI print on that one. Interesting. The sound quality in this CD, I wouldn't even go there, to be honest. I would just say from my point of view, just don't even go there, because it is fucking horrible. It's awful. It's the worst sound quality you ever hear. Queen fans, if you want to get it, get it. But for God's sake, stick with the vinyl version of it. This version, success. Now the next one, Live Killers. Yeah. This was the complaint CD that ever came out in 1994. Now, this had a lot of problems on this disc when it was mastered, originally remastered by Peter Mew, who did these. I have to say that, without a doubt, I'm glad it came out in this one when it was reissued. I'll talk about one in a minute. But I want to talk about this first one here. Now, I have to say that, first of all, this recording, the sound quality on this is from the original vinyl edition of it. It's not the authentic tape version. It is fucking terrible. It's the worst sound quality in the world. And I'll say from my point of view, this should have been binned straight away. The sound quality sounds like it's a rainstorm. It sounds like I can't hear a thing on it. The sound quality on this is totally awful. I think this is from Holland, this one. It's from Holland print. I have to say that this is fucking dreadful. I have to say the back sleeve of it, shocking job on the back. We don't know what's on the CD. So you decided to stretch out the overpasted the back of it, which was cool. This was in the big box, by the way, but the big box got destroyed, and that's why I only have it in the sleeve now, which is a shame. This is probably the one of the hardest ones that couldn't go out, but obviously they were not happy with this one, which was bad. Right, now onto the sleeve, or the booklet. And I'm going to start with this page first. And this is obviously the front of it. Now you can tell there's a name missing off this. Yes. The original name on the album was George Marino. His name's been removed for this for some reason. I think it was actually printed here. It's been removed because of issues, of EMI's issues. The artwork is an absolute travesty on this. I have to say, it's a bad mistake for Queen to do this. Okay. Please do take in consideration that they decided to put the original C notes inside, but they blew it up so well so you can read it. Like you're supposed to be blind or something on this thing. And then they decided to just put that on the back sleeve of it, which is very embarrassing. So you don't get the intact thing of it. And I have to say something on this, right? The pose of Freddie Mercury, that looks bloody awful. There's no way you could do that these days now. And then you've got the original Queen one as well, which include those EMI logo on that one, which is the same, which is interesting. And yeah, so booklet is naff anyway, terrible booklet. Now on to the discs. Now these two discs are different. Yeah, these two are different. First of all, this disc here is apparently produced in Holland, but not going to view. Yeah, this is produced in Holland, and the other one is produced in Holland as well. But this disc is a mystery. Now, on the back of this disc, you can tell the little wavy lines on this disc, on the back of this little insert of it. What that means is that obviously EMI was trying to not let you copy the disc and not let you use it for the issues of it, which is interesting. And then this one is the same, wavy lines on the back of it. So they were trying to make you stop copying the disc, obviously, which is one thing to do, which is kind of embarrassing. Now, I have to say, in all my years of this CD, it is the worst CD of the lot. Sound quality is dreadful, and it fucking sucks ass. It does. I mean, literally, this CD, you should never ever touch it at all, because this CD is awful. Sound quality is bad. It sounds like you're in a rainstorm and you can't hear you've heard the flood's going to come into the arena. And yeah, this is awful. One of the worst CDs that Queen have brought out, this one. Definitely terrible CD ever done. So all this stuff here from Queen's Live Killers is a definite no-no. Definite no-no. But when you come on to the next one, oh, sorry. Do it again. So Queen Live Killers, a definitely no-no. Definitely do not touch this one with a barge pole. Literally do not. If you want to see the original CD, get the 1986 CD, because the 1986 CD is remixed. This version, don't even go there. Terrible. Then we come on to Live Killers Reissue 2004. 2001 it was. But I have to say, this is probably the best sound quality compared to this piece of shit, right? So forget this one. This one is better. This is the first time it was reissued on CD in 2001. It's taken from the original 2003 Japanese issue as well on the sound quality. And I have to say, good job. One hell of a job, this CD, because it was fucking brilliant. This is not Waves format on it all. This, I have to say, is one of the best CD qualities I've ever heard, ever. Now, this is not getting reissued in 2014. It's not even it hasn't even get reissued in 2011. I'm glad it didn't. This was stayed safe, this one. I have to say that this is absolutely fantastic. This is the best sound quality you'll ever get on this one. And the sound on this is unbelievably loud as well. It was a good time it was getting reissued, which was better for it. This is the European release of it. I have to say that this booklet is intact as well. They got permission from Queen to use all the information on this one. Information fact about this is that this was supervised by Dave Richards and resistance by the other guys as well. Peter Mew was also involved at Abbey Road, and it was supervised by Justin Shady Smith. Now I have to say, this is fucking awesome. The sound quality in this is brilliant, genuinely fantastic. CD notes are all intact. Best thing about the CD is you get the original insert of the album as well, which I have to say, they should have done this in the original CD, but you never got this in the CD. Just put on half of it, which is ridiculous. That should never have done it. Kept the original artwork of the album, and even fantastic. Then you got a note from Jackie Smith, not from Queen. Jackie Smith wrote this, right? This isn't Queen, Jackie Smith. This is a 2001 update of Queen's Live Killers on CD. Features the latest digitally remastered sound, originated from the Japanese reissue in 2001 from 1979 analog tips. The packaging is based on the vinyl LP artwork and includes the original CD notes as well. Jackie Smith was involved in this. No involvement from Queen. Jackie Smith was involved in it as well. I have to say that now this address is no longer no longer valid. But this is without a doubt a fantastic job they did this one, and it's good to see a nice high quality of the CD, and it sounds friggin' amazing, absolutely amazing. A top-notch job of this one as well. The CDs were very cleverly. These were probably the last ones that were done at EMI Uden, which EMI Uden did these CDs as well, which is interesting. And these, I've got the new codings on this one as well. Now, as I understand, if you rip this CD into your computer, you get some bloody good artwork on it, which is not like this, but the artwork that you get on some of the prints that I've seen is different to this, very different indeed. And they are absolutely fabulous, and it's cool. And this is, I would say, is the best sound you'll ever hear on this song, which is cool on it, so it's cool. And disc 2 is the same as well. This is also another EMI Uden print as well, which is from that side. And it's absolutely fantastic. Sound quality on it is brilliant. I have to say that if you were to get this one, you can still get it. Best place to get it from is Discogs, but definitely do get this one because this is probably my favourite CD that ever came out. 2003, it originally was reissued 2003, and then it came out in 2008 because it was reissued in Japan as well on a special CD produced one. But Live Killers reissue, definitely well worth getting this one. Right, next CD from the 1994 issues is Flash Gordon, and I'll quickly say this. I don't have this on vinyl, but for the CD issue of this, yeah, issue this CD, I wouldn't even go there. Right, now this was also reissued many times in the 2000s, and this issue I have is a reprint. Yeah, it's a reprint. Well, before I talk about the disc, let me talk about the artwork first. Now, this was probably the hardest one that came out from Queen's catalogue when it was issued. Now, apparently, it doesn't actually indicate it indicates in here, but in early pressings, it wasn't indicated on this release of it. The artwork is an issue I will have, and I will explain the back side of it as well, which is interesting. Now, this is all taken from the original insert sleeve from their part. The one thing about this CD which is interesting is there was no edits on the CD at all. This is all intact. There is no management credit on this, and there's no audio things on this either. The one thing about it is obviously the artwork is an issue because the artwork's bloody awful, because it's all been taken from the inner sleeve anyway, which has been around the sleeve, which is just terrible. Now, for some reason, this has not been taken off. Apparently, this has been reproduced by kind of permission of Queen Music Limited, EMI Wide Music. Now, apparently, obviously, Queen still don't have the rights to this song because it's owned by Dino De Laurentiis, who did the original film of it, and which the film, I have to say, it's not bad, but the soundtrack is better. But it isn't one of Queen's best albums of the 80s that they've ever done. I know it was only a one-off thing, but Mac and May produced it. But this is the embarrassing thing about it. It's the bloody back of this, which is terrible. Now, this is how they've done this CD. Now, what they've done is on the original back of the CD is the whole front of the back, right? That's how the back is. But what EMI did with their silly idea was to print this on and enhance the text a bit better, which, right, fair enough. Original back of it. Then on here, they've took off the original catalogue number of this, right? Now, if you have a look at the original artwork on the back of the album, it's got a number on there, but for this issue, you know why. The other thing to say is that this came out in 1984, and it was under, for some reason, under two different names, because apparently this is under two different creditors. It's owned by Queen Productions and Starling Productions. Now, Starling Productions, I think, if I'm mistaken, is something to do with Richard Starkey of the Beatles. Now, I'm not sure why they've credited this, because apparently this is interesting, because Starling Productions is, from my understanding, is to do with Richard Starkey and Ringo Starr. This thing is interesting because I never knew that that was part of that, but whether that was part of the film rights and they couldn't get rights to the production side of it, maybe it is. But at N94, they probably have reissued the CD for their purposes of this anyway, so this is probably why it makes perfect sense why they've done it. But the thing about this CD is, it's probably interesting to note that every time that you get this CD, you look at the artwork, you're thinking, I know what they did, they know how they've done it. Now, when you see the reissue that came out in 2011, they just had to paste his up a bit further than that. And EMI, I understand now why EMI did that, because obviously they wanted to make sure that it was done from their perspective. But saying that, this is what you got. The CD sound quality on this, this gets worse. Now, this CD was produced the same exact time as the DVD came out with the special limited edition one. I don't even call them edition anyway, the CDs and not DVDs. Do stay away from the DVDs, they are bad. This CD is wrong, printed wrong. It says made in Italy. If you turn over the other side, it says EMI Uden. See? EMI Uden. It's been printed in Holland. And this disc is taken out of the DVD. This has not been taken out of... This is not the original CD that's this one. Because apparently on the CD backside of this, it says made in Italy. Printed in Italy. Made in Italy. Doesn't make sense. And they decided to print this in Holland with EMI Uden on it, which EMI Uden. So this is absolutely wrong for a start. This is a print that's gone wrong, or either this print is not legit. The sound quality on this, I tell you what, is not the best I've heard. It is absolutely terrible. You know, to say from my point of view, right, if you get the special edition one, that DVD one that came out with this CD, you'll get the exact same copy as this, because this is what they produced in the CD, which is bloody awful anyway. So keep referencing this one. It's Flash Gordon, 1984 print. It's not one of the best CDs, but it's just stay away from it. It is really bad.